We can't help with your treatment. My mother said, your sister's wedding comes first. 3 years later, they needed my signature for their company's survival. I smiled and said, I remember exactly where I was standing when my life shattered into pieces. In my parents' pristine living room, clutching my medical reports with trembling hands. Stage 2 breast cancer. I was only 26. We need $300,000 for the complete treatment, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. The insurance only covers part of it. I've saved up $100,000, but I need help with the rest. My mother sat perfectly still on our imported Italian leather sofa, her face a mask of practiced composure. My father stood by the window, his back turned to me. The silence stretched between us like a chasm. We can't help you right now, Olivia. My mother finally spoke, her voice eerily calm. Your sister Madison's wedding is in 3 months. We've already committed to paying for everything. I blinked, certain I had misheard. Mom, this is cancer treatment we're talking about. The doctor said, we need to start immediately. Do you have any idea how much we've already spent on the wedding? My father turned around, his face flushed with irritation. The venue alone cost $150,000. The flowers are being flown in from Holland. Madison deserves her dream wedding. Deserves. The word hit me like a physical blow. And I don't deserve to live, my voice cracked. Don't be dramatic. My mother sighed, standing up to adjust a crystal vase of fresh orchids. There must be cheaper treatment options, or you could get a loan. I've already looked into loans. No bank will approve that amount with my current salary. Madison chose that moment to burst through the front door, her arms laden with shopping bags. Her face glowed with the particular happiness of someone who had never faced real hardship. Mom, I found the perfect Vera Wang dress. It's only $45,000. She froze when she saw my tear-stained face. Oh, are you still talking about the cancer thing? The cancer thing. As if I had announced a minor inconvenience rather than a life-threatening illness. Madison, I turned to my sister, hoping to find a shred of empathy. Could we maybe scale back the wedding a little? Just enough to dash. Absolutely not, she cut me off, dropping her shopping bags. I've been planning this wedding my entire life. Jason's family is expecting something spectacular. I can't embarrass them with a budget ceremony. I looked between my sister and my parents. These people who shared my blood, but somehow couldn't share their humanity. The reality of my situation crashed over me like a wave. How much is the total wedding budget? I asked quietly. My father shifted uncomfortably. Around $400,000. The number hung in the air between us. $400,000 for a single day of celebration, while I needed $200,000 to save my life. I see, I whispered, gathering my medical papers. I see exactly where I stand in this family. Olivia, don't be like that. My mother reached for my arm. We'll help you figure something out after the wedding. I pulled away from her touch. After the wedding might be too late. That night, I sat in my small apartment surrounded by medical bills and wedding invitations. The cruel irony wasn't lost on me. My phone buzzed with a text from Madison. Don't you dare tell Jason's family about your situation. I don't want anything overshadowing my special day. I turned off my phone and opened my laptop. If my family wouldn't help me, I would have to save myself. I had built a small consulting business over the past few years, specializing in corporate restructuring. It wasn't huge, but I had made a name for myself among smaller companies. What my family didn't know was that I had recently been approached by a major investment firm. They wanted to acquire my business and its client list. I had been hesitant to sell, but now with trembling fingers, I pulled up the email from Sterling Capital Partners. Their offer was still valid. $2.5 million for my company and a position as their senior consultant. I glanced at the medical reports spread across my desk. Then at Madison's wedding invitation with its gold leaf embossing and hand calligraph details. The choice was clear. The next morning, I walked into Sterling Capital's offices and signed the acquisition papers. By afternoon, the money was in my account. I scheduled my first treatment for the following week. I didn't tell my family about the sale or the money. Let them think I had taken out loans or found cheaper options. They were too busy with wedding preparations to ask anyway. The months that followed were a blur of chemotherapy sessions and business meetings. I worked remotely when I could, building my position at Sterling Capital. Even as the treatment ravaged my body, my hair fell out, my skin turned sallow, but my mind stayed sharp. Madison's wedding was everything she had dreamed of. Orchestral music, cascading flowers, ice sculptures, and a bride who looked like she had stepped out of a fairy tale. I sat in the back wearing a wig and makeup that couldn't quite hide what the chemotherapy had done to me. No one mentioned my cancer during the reception. It would have ruined the perfect atmosphere. After the wedding, my parents and Madison jetted off for a celebration in the Maldives. I underwent my second round of chemotherapy alone. But something interesting was happening at Sterling Capital. My expertise in corporate restructuring had caught the attention of the senior partners. While my body fought its battle, my career soared. I was given larger clients, more responsibility, more trust. Then one day, exactly 3 years after my diagnosis, I received an interesting email. It was about a company facing bankruptcy. Morrison Industries, my father's company. I leaned back in my chair, a strange smile playing on my lips as I read the detailed report. They needed a miracle, and Sterling Capital was their last hope. The irony was almost poetic. Every major decision would require my signature as the lead consultant. My phone rang. It was my father's number. I let it ring. My father's number flashed on my phone 5 more times that afternoon. Each time I let it ring, I had learned something valuable during my cancer treatment. Timing is everything. Finally, at exactly 5 p.m. I answered. Morrison Industries needs help. My father's voice was strained, missing its usual authoritative tone. Sterling Capital is our last option. I know, I replied calmly, running my fingers over the thick folder on my desk. I'm looking at the file right now. Silence. Then you work at Sterling Capital. I'm the lead consultant for corporate restructuring. I kept my voice neutral. Actually, I'm the one who will be handling your case. The sharp intake of breath on the other end told me he understood the implications. Now you can watch the second part by pressing share and more.